All right, what's going on, guys? Don Ross. Just want to thank you for signing up on your course here. 7-day power course on setting routines and the power behind that, along with obviously goals. And each day a module will be released in the early morning. You'll be able to follow through on the video and resources that we provide on those daily modules. And then you will have a small little piece of homework on each of these in the discussions area where you'll need to post. By posting in that discussions area, that will unlock the module the next day and allow you to move on. Again, this is a 7-day sprint course to get you kind of headed in the right direction. I think this is more important than ever to kind of get yourself aligned with what is important, your why. That'll be the first part that we'll cover here. Talk about that here in a second. And then you'll be able to go through and get the understanding behind the power of morning and evening routines, an app that I would recommend in using that and outlining your morning evening routines. And then the knowledge is power section, really going through reading audible books, podcasts, and educating yourself on your why and some things that you want to have behind your business, your personal life, etc. Big goals. So you're going to be having obviously 1-year, 5-year goals, which are those macro goals. And then you're going to have some of the micro small goals where you'll need a 7, 30, and 90 day that align with those. So we'll kind of go through that. And then things to do will be your task and to-do list and how to make sure you've got those important 3 to 5 things that are going to move the needle and move the line for you, your company, your personal life each and every day. And then last but not least, tracking. And so the KPIs or key performance indicators will be important. And this is on both sides, both business and personal. You need to be tracking. If it is important, you need to be able to track it, see how you're doing on a daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly, and yearly basis. Otherwise, there's really no point. If you're not tracking and willing to answer to yourself, there's no point in doing it. So as a kind of background as to why I am building this out and feel that it's so important, I am a small business owner, have been for 10 years, so a decade, and that started off as a business in real estate investing, flipping contracts, wholesaling, and looking at having a brokerage, retail business, things of that nature. Did that up until 2019, and real estate was my thing to my thing. So real estate was able to provide and show me a way of needing systems and processes and being able to have the right people, right seats, and discovering my why. So my why on the personal side of things is being able to provide solutions, softwares, and see people grow their small business from it. Now, I've done the real estate side and providing a software as a service or SaaS now for almost 8 years. And that allowed me to see a whole lot of real estate investors and agents grow their businesses based off the software and teaching that we had. Having a sales process, having follow-up, and bringing testimonials, reviews into their company, and having those processes that allowed them to grow their business. That has now allowed us to pivot and provide that into other small businesses. Now, my specific areas and niches that I like to provide in are the blue collar area. So I did construction, custom houses for 5 years and have a degree in architecture and now an MBA. But I like the blue collar side of things and, you know, your electrician, plumbers, HVAC, roofers, etc. I like that market. That's where I kind of got my start. And so now providing systems, businesses, softwares, and talking through what that looks like is important to me, and being able to then provide that in communities like our own. So I'm part of a small town, farm town in the Midwest that's got a population of 4,500, and being able to see those small businesses grow in that community, be able to provide not only to their customers, but their community themselves. It's important to me. A lot of times the technology side of things is very difficult for those small businesses. Oftentimes they're doing just what they can to keep the business running and afloat and running the business and going to those appointments, talking to the customers, let alone running a software and having some systems and processes behind it. So we help align with that in providing that service for customers. The neighbor of mine runs a firearm shop. Being that I'm prior military, prior Marine Corps, retired from that, That is near and dear to my heart. I have a private gun range on my property out here that we have in the Midwest in Wisconsin. And last but not least, grew up with a dad that had a small business, and he had a hot rod, street rod, classic car shop where he would literally take apart vehicles, nut and bolt, put them all back together, and we would go to car shows and things of that nature. And I've got a few of them now myself, a couple of hot rods, a couple different things. And so in that car community, the firearm community, blue collar community, and real estate, that's kind of near and dear to me. Those are the things that have gotten me through my life and allowed me to figure out my why on a business level. Now, on a personal level, I'm married, have a wife, have 4 children, 2 boys, 2 girls, 3 teenagers, and one that's driving, one that's about to drive, and one that thinks he's about to drive some of the equipment that we have around here, and then a 10-year-old. So the why of being able to be present for their school events, their sports. We've got softball, we've got basketball. One wants to go to baseball, one's done volleyball, and does powerlifting now. All those events, being able to be out at those events and not necessarily have a job that's pulling me in and requiring, that I do certain things on weekends or late at night when they have their events. Being able to be present to that, take family trips. We've done Yellowstone last year. This last summer, we were able to go to Harry Potter World in Florida. Just being present and being available for that, and the 15 to 18 years that they're around and actually want to be around you, being able to be around that and be present with that. That involves nights where we're able to shut down and have family game night, or go to the mall and just hang out, go to a movie. Those types of things are what drive me. I am not one that wants to have the teams of 50, 100, 200 employees running a $10, $50 million company, whatever that looks like, and not being able to be present. Now, if I could figure out a way maybe to do those things and still be present and have the right people, right seat, maybe. But I enjoy what I have right now, be able to provide and have that software company have those meetings with my clients throughout the days, and I schedule them. I have my calendar set up to where there's only certain times they can schedule, and that it starts at 9 a.m. Before 9 a.m., I own my day. So I'm able to get up and have the kids go off to school. I'm able to read my books, set my daily routines, set my to-do task, look at my goals, things of that nature, and have time to myself before I start my day. And then 9 until typically 11, I have kind of my 2-hour window where revenue first matters. So oftentimes that'll be doing either some videos, some emails, on products or services that we're offering, or posting direct to social media, reaching out and asking other business owners, hey, can we get on a Zoom call and talk some business? Scheduling some 15-minute appointments where we're talking how our systems or processes might work in their business. All that stuff happens in that 2-hour window, 9 to 11 for me. And then typically have a team meeting for about a half an hour, kind of go through what's being worked on, who's working on what's important for the day, and talking through that. And then in the afternoons, those are kind of the times that I work on some of my passion projects and talk through things. And then the kids are home late at night. And so sometimes that means that we're going to events, they're going to the Y, we're going to different places. Or if we got nothing going on and for whatever reason I have maybe a project that I'm working on, I might go back to a project. But that's by choice or by design with my company and how I have things laid out. So kind of discovering your why. There's a couple things out there that I would recommend. Simon Sinek, I'm going to post a video where he goes through kind of 15 minutes of discovering a why with a gentleman that he's on a podcast with, and kind of talk through that. He's also got a book that I would recommend, Start With Your Why, and I will put a link in there, kind of working through that. There's going to be a worksheet talking through some things that you're good at, don't like, things that you're good at and you love, things that you're bad at. And so this 4-quadrant sheet will help you kind of figure out what it is exactly that gives you your power and kind of what you should be focusing on, so that you're waking up and you're enjoying your day, enjoying the things that you're working through, and you can offload some of those things that you maybe don't enjoy. But you know what? Other people, they do enjoy those things, and that is what they're powerful at. And part of that is discovering what drives them, right? And so as a company, you're going to need to have an understanding of what your core values are. And I'll post something in here for you to kind of figure out what maybe that looks like and discovering what those core values are for you. But that one thing is going to be important. The core values and people working for you, as well as your clients and customers that you're working with as a small business owner, those core values should align, because otherwise you're going to have people that work with you, for you, part of your projects that you necessarily kind of butt heads with, don't agree with. As you kind of hold them accountable, they might not agree with why they're being held accountable. You've got to have that alignment in core values. Same thing with your customers. There can be this point where if you have customers that pay really well but don't have the same core values, it literally drains you just to kind of work through and have that back and forth and not having that alignment. So I'd really suggest working through the why, your core values. That's going to be the starting point, kind of your step one, day one. Figure out what that looks like for you, and then ensure that you're showing and projecting those core values not only to your clients as they come on, and that could be as simple as, you know what, we don't work 7 days a week. We don't work Sundays. Maybe we work certain hours on Saturdays, and setting those expectations up front. Same thing with your clients working with your team members. So, you know, as a support service, we have people that reach out to my team members, my virtual team members, and they're asking for support. Now, how they interact with that support team, obviously providing quick feedback and setting the expectations of, hey, if you send in a ticket, you should get a response within a 4-hour window, or Monday through Friday, we work 9 to 4. Let them know what those expectations are, and everything should be okay there. If you have a client or a customer that is maybe berating or belittling and talking to your team members not in a proper way, you need to be able to handle that and show that you have their back, and that's part of the core values of your company. And with that, you'll have team members that will stick with you and be a part of kind of as you guys move through the battle of a small business. Now, the team members that we have on our small business, they've been with us for 5+ years, and they've gone through the ups and downs with us, and we have a very tight-knit group at this point that we work through things. So again, that'll be something that you'll want to work through, get your core values, your why, get clarity on that, both on a personal and a business level. And part of your homework is going to be posting in the discussions of Module 1, what is your why on a personal business level, and put it into that discussions area. And then we'll kind of interact and kind of figure out, you know, why that's important to you, and we'll talk through some of the other modules and how that's going to drive you. Because as a small business owner, simply wanting to work and have millions of dollars is not going to get you through the ups and downs of a small business. You have to have something that's going to drive you through that. You know, there are things that made it to where those long nights, 18-hour days that I've had in the beginning for the first year or two, they were worth it because I loved what I did, and that why pushed me through. And sometimes, obviously, you know, on those 18-hour days, it would be nice if we were getting paid some of the big bucks to make it through those 18-hour days, but sometimes it's just figuring out stuff that you don't know and you love doing it, and that's part of pushing through, and that's part of the why and the core values that will get you through that. And it's not always about the money. It's about helping the people that you're providing that service or that product to, and just enjoying the journey, kind of going through it. So again, part of your homework, post in the discussions area, go through the resources. If you do have questions, reach out, but then the next module will get released, and we'll see you over there.